Hi, this is Dr. Rubenstein, and as you can tell, I'm driving, and we're on Route 37 heading north, and we're going to be entering the Akwesasne Indian Reservation. I guess it's really, they just call it Akwesasne. On the New York side, it's called the St. Regis Indian Mohawk. It's called the St. Regis Mohawk Indian Reservation, although everybody there calls it Akwesasne. We're only going to be able to see one half of the reservation, pardon me, because the other half is in Canada, and I'm not going to cross the border today. However, we will go through all the way through the American side, and I shouldn't say we won't be going on the Canadian side, because Akwesasne is rather strange in that it is divided between two countries, as you could probably gather already, but it's also divided on the Canadian side between two provinces, and it's in New York on the United States side. So it does create so many problems. So actually, to get to some parts of Quebec, they have to go through New York State. So in any case, we're going to be going down through the reservation, and you'll get an idea of what's there and what's happening. So with that, let's go through the reservation and see a different culture, actually. Okay, we're getting closer to the reservation here. Up here you see the bridge to Canada coming up. It is well, where the border is, of course, and they have the customs house here. If you read my book, Akwesasne, divided by more than the St. Lawrence, I speak about this crossing and the troubles that occurred because of the gambling casinos that were up here at the time. And you can pick that up through Amazon and all of that sort of thing. In any case, we're coming up on the border crossing, and this in the day there was quite a bit of shooting and that sort of thing, as people really didn't like what was going on with the situation at the time. And this used to be a divided highway. Sometime after the uprising, they decided to make it a single lane. I'm not sure if that was the whole purpose or not, but it was part of the purpose, I guess. And so now it's just a single lane. Pardon the wipers, I'm trying to keep it clean here. And so on my left, you may detect that there's another area that could easily be a roadway, and it's just been taken out. One thing you will notice as we drive through here is an incredible number of marijuana dispensaries. It somewhat reminds me of the days when the gambling casinos came in, because there was a bunch of them up here. Now, of course, there's just one main casino. There aren't any others. But there's like the Golden Nugget there, and you'll see quite a few. If I remember correctly, last time I came through here, there was about 27 dispensaries, pot stores, on the reservation. Here's the turn for Roosevelt Town. Bear's Den has a number of stores. The main store is up a ways. We're going to be going up by the turn for Mohawk Racing. Mohawk Raceway it's called now. I can remember when it was a dirt track and they called it Frogtown. Up on the right over here is where the original casino was for bingo. And my sister at one time used to have, her and her late husband would run bus trips up here from Rochester. And here you see some of the advertisements. Here's Bada Bing. And on the other side, you might have seen the one for Butter's cannabis store. Here's Six Bears Dispensary. Some of them have really gone way over the top here in building stores. Others of them have just sort of put up a little shed and sold their wares. But from my understanding in the area, there is a price war going on. Here's one higher ground. There's a price war going on where ounces of fairly good marijuana are going for like $100 an ounce. Just past the Akwesasne Cultural Center. Also their library. Here's another dispensary here. Now we're coming into Hogansburg, which is really sort of the main village area, I think, on the American side. Here's the original Bear's Den we're going by now on our left-hand side. You also see on the left-hand side, or probably just past it, a building that was built for a casino that's no longer in existence. Quite a few cigarette stores up here, also manufacturing facilities. And up here they call them rollies. So if you see a sign that says something about rollies, well, that's what it is. Here's another green reserve. Marijuana dispensary and more. Butters. Another sign for Bada Bing. Tribal police right here. Be turning here, and this is Hogansburg right here, but we're going to turn here and we're going to go to the left, and what will be surprising here is the fact that we will not only be leaving New York State, we'll be leaving the United States, and we'll be in Quebec. As you see a sign there that said occupied Indian land not for sale. All part of the reservation. You happen to read my book, Akwesasne, divided by more than the St. Lawrence River, you will hear the story of Annie Garrow, who lived down here in St. Regis, Quebec, and took her wares across this international border here to sell her baskets in New York at Hogansburg. She was stopped and fined by the border patrol, and it led to a Supreme Court case. If you want to know more, it's all in my book. Probably tell it's pretty chilly out here. It's 22 degrees, so it's not terrible. Not terrible. But it is a little frosty. Believe it or not, we are entering Quebec, Canada. And here's a dispensary right here, St. Regis, Akwesasne. This is St. Regis. And you notice the signs are now in kilometers per hour, no longer in miles per hour, and you notice the stop signs are in Mohawk. So we are in Canada, Quebec. And for people to get here from Canada, to get to Canada, they have to go through New York State. Oh, senior citizens discount, 10% off every day. Oh my. Use the village currency exchange. This is the St. Regis Catholic Church. It is, they have services here in Mohawk. There's the St. Lawrence River. And as I said, we are in Canada. So I can't say over there is Canada. Yes, of course it is. Thomas Memorial Hospital. Highway. So I can't show you a lot of the Canadian side. Cornwall Island and things of that nature, you actually have to go through, technically you have to go through customs to get there. Although many times when my wife's with me and we go visit her relatives, we just sort of go down the road. But, legally speaking, and just like that, we're back in the United States. Now we're heading back towards Hogansburg. You can probably tell we took a big loop. back up in Hogansburg. Well, we're heading back into Hogansburg here. And so we're picking back up. And what we're going to do here is we're going to be turning to the left. We came here from the right. And now we're going to be back on Route 37 going north, looking at the rest of the reservation on the New York side. Drive-through. We're now crossing the St. Regis River. There used to be a dam here for power, and the natives had them take it out. There's another dispensary there, native flower. And you can see we're fairly close to Malone. We're only 23 miles away from Malone, so it is close. Best Buds. It's a truck stop. This is the casino, and we are going to take a quick route look around the casino here, just because we don't want to leave anything out. It was really the consolidation of a lot of different casinos that were here. Quite a bit of bloodshed, quite a bit of fighting. Not a lot of bloodshed, but some people died. And there's been a great deal of healing since the uprising in 1990. Pardon the wipers. But this is the Akwesasne Mohawk Reservation. And it seems to be all closed off. I'm not quite sure why. But we'll drive over as far as we can get to see what we can see. But in case you get a view of it there, not quite sure. It's just closed. Interesting. Very interesting. Some of it's open. We're just going to go down this way and see what's going on, and then we'll turn around and leave. But usually the place is packed because they come from Canada and all over. Oh, they're cleaning it out. That's what they're doing. Well, we're going to go around here and we're just going to get out of the way. Now what we're going to do is back up. They're getting it ready. That's why everything's closed off for right now. But we did get to see the casino. And we will continue our drive through the reservation. Well, we're going to have to go this way first and then circle back around. Alright. There we go. Alright, back on the way we should be going. I wouldn't have taken that way if I realized I could only go one direction. This is all part of the reservation here also. And it extends all the way up here. See the Mohawk flags flying? Akwesasne storage, and this is more, I guess if you want to say, residential area. Not a lot of businesses on this end of the reservation. Of course, more people coming from the Messina area than the Malone area because of the closeness of the two. Well, that's our look at Akwesasne. You've seen quite a bit of it on the American side. Again, we didn't go over to the Canadian side at all. There's still quite a bit over there also. But I hope you enjoyed our look here. And, as I typically say, please subscribe. I really would appreciate that. Leave a comment if you like. Repost this if you could do that. And ring the bell. You'll know when I put out another one. So with that, I wanted to say thank you for listening to me. I really appreciate it. And we're heading off the reservation here in a little bit. Not much more to see as such. And so with that, I'm just going to say goodbye for today. Have a good day. Be well. Be healthy. These are some new boots I got from Gypsy Guy for Christmas. They look really nice. I'm going to try them on and we'll see how they go. But Gypsy Guy. Well, let me try them on. They fit perfect. Unbelievable. The sizes are perfect. Let's check them out in the snow. I've got to say, I've been using these Gypsy Guy boots all day long. They're working pretty good. They sure are. Well, I just got home. It's been a long weekend out in the snow, driving, slush. And it's the first time I really had a chance to check out these boots. And I'll tell you, they work really well. Really well. They're well made. The tab in the back, really makes it comfortable. Unbelievably comfortable. They, I have to say, they lace up nice and tight. The bottoms worked well in the snow. Didn't have any problems with them. The construction seems to be holding up pretty well. Of course, it's only been a weekend, but boy, I'll tell you, I've seen some shoes and boots just go by the wayside. So if you like these boots, I'd get a pair. Gypsy Guy. Check out the links I have and the code and get some percentage off. I like them.